Define your mission. This is basically what's your strategy. 4 basic ones. Number 1, and you know what? I'm not mincing words here, okay? I'm telling you exactly what it is. Number 1, set up an ambush. Okay? Number 2, search and clear. Number 3, locate and kill. Number 4, escape and evade. Okay, now what are these? All right, again, thinking from the perspective of lone operator, CCW guy or something. Okay, you live by yourself in your house, you know, you hear that in the middle of the night. Okay? And right after the, oh shit! You know? And then, you know, hey Billy Bob, you okay? Yeah man, I stubbed my toe.
Hold my beer for a minute.
Okay? Alright, now, what is a lone operator? What intel does he have?
He knows at least 2.
Okay?
At least 2.
There's no doubt that there are invaders in his space. Okay? Alright, you're by yourself. One thing that you'll find as we progress through this class, who has the advantage? The guy laying in wait or the guy going and searching?
Laying in
The
wait.
guy laying in wait. Okay? So, you know, an option for the lone operator, when he has enough information, he says, oh great, you know, Billy Bob and T-Dog, they're in my house, they're searching. Pinelli Super 90. Okay? Take up a nice position behind the bed, you know, right? Point it at the door and stand by.
You forgot to say
Yeah. Thank you, Lord, for stupid opponents. Okay?
it's going to pad my resume.
Right? For us, it's probably pretty good for business.
It is.
Right?
Damn, we're
So, very, very simple. Okay, very, very simple. Very simple to do. What kind of tactics does this guy need?
marksmanship exercise.
Nothing, just based on marksmanship exercise. That's what an ambush is. It's marksmanship exercise. Okay? Now, you know, if he wants to be, you know, a little bit more elaborate stuff, he may pick up the phone and, hey, there's 3 guys in my house and, you know, they're moving in here. I'm in my bedroom with a shotgun. You better send some people because it's going to get loud. You know, or whatever. And then you let the event play out. If Billy Bob and T-Dog, they leave because they hear you, that's okay. If they walk into your bedroom, that's okay too. It doesn't matter. You are well set in your ambush, and you're probably going to win that. Okay? All right. That brings us to number 2. Okay? Search and clear. You hear this, and then you don't hear anything else. It woke you up. You don't hear anything else. What was it? Are you going to set up an ambush and stand until the sun comes up? Some people say, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Because, well, you know what? Yeah, right. Okay, I'll bet you $5 it's not what you're going to do. Okay? Guys will either rationalize and say, oh, that was just a cat knocking something over, they'll go back to sleep. Okay? A lot of wishful thinking there. Okay? Or, you know, they'll probably go and check. What I know is not going to happen is you're not going to pick up the phone every time you get woken up in the middle of the night by something you don't understand and call 911. Because the reality is, and you know, I can say that now because I'm just a scum-sucking civilian, but you know what? There is, you know, the knucklehead list in every police department, okay? You know, Mr. Jones always calls every Friday night because of prowlers, and there's never any prowlers. So there you are, you know, you're cold, you're tired, you haven't had a chance to eat yet, it's frickin' raining, and, you know, 3 Lincoln 7, respond to Mr. Jones's house, call the prowler, you're gonna go, oh, yeah, right. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Starbucks and get another double disgusting, you know, before I go over there, because that knucklehead is not going to get me out of my car, you know, and law enforcement guys are human beings. That's what's going to happen. And so now the initial 3-minute response time for the first call turns into a 2-minute response time, and a 15-minute response time, and a 30-minute response time, and a, you know, call Mr. Jones back and see if he's heard anything in the last hour. Okay, and then eventually somebody gets out there. That's reality. Okay, so you're not going to call the police every time you hear a sound. What's probably going to happen is you're going to go, you know what? I'm not sure what that was, but I'm going to go take a look. Okay, now you're probably going to grab your blaster. Okay, and you're going to go and make sure that everything's cool. How intense that search is going to be is determined by your level of apprehension. There is a continuum for that too, right? You know, if you just heard a noise and your house is relatively secure, you're probably going to grab your pistol and you're just going to step out of the room. You're going to look around and, you know, you're going to go, okay, what's over there? And turn some lights on. It's going to be a very low key. There's nothing tactical about it, okay? If you're a little bit more apprehensive about it, okay, you know, now you're going to be using all your tactics and everything else, okay? Which one is correct? It depends, All right, they all fall into the category of search and clear. All right? Okay. Now, the third one, locate and kill. Oh my gosh, liability. Okay?
Keyword.
Who cares? All right? When would this be appropriate? Okay, you heard this. Oh, crap! Billy Bob, you okay? Yeah, I'm almost at the little girl's room. Whoa. Okay? They're moving where? Toward your daughter's room. You gonna set up an ambush and wait? Search and clear methodically? What are you gonna do? Well, you know where your little girl's room is because it's your house. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab something really good, okay? Right? And you're gonna go shoot every mother's son that's in your house that's not a member of your family. Target ID, he's not one of mine. Okay? Right? And that's what you're going to do. And it's basically, think of it like the private citizen's version of a hostage rescue. You attack the problem, you locate the problem, you eliminate the problem. Period. So, but anyway, so, the locate and kill is basically the private citizen's version of the hostage rescue, or the move to the active shooter. There's no time to do anything else. It's a lot riskier, but the risk of not doing that to those you're responsible for is much greater. Okay? And then the final thing, number 4, escape and evade, which is basically, you're not there to engage anybody, you're not there to rescue anybody, you're there to get the heck out. Okay? Very similar in execution, I should say, to number 3. Okay? Very similar to number 3. The only difference is with number 3, you're looking for a target. With number 4, you're looking for an exit. Okay? So those are the 3. Set up an ambush, search and clear, locate and kill, escape and evade. Okay? Now there may be degrees in between those 4, but those are the 4 general categories of strategies that are going to, dictate the tactics that we use to make those happen. Any questions from you guys on that?
Just real quick, say you have to secure loved ones, but then you're going to set up an ambush. We're just talking number 2 and number 1 together type of thing?
What it may be is, okay, like let's say, okay, an example. You and your wife are in the master bedroom, the kids are across the hall, and, there's some noise downstairs. Okay? You're basically going to be doing a number 4, except it's going to be not to the exit, but to the kids' bedrooms. Okay? And then once you get there, you're going to set up a number 1.
Okay.
And then you just wait, because if there's no need to go and search and attack these guys, why would you? Right? Everything's insured, who cares? Now, that's not to say that once you cheryl's that security, because, let's say you are who you are, that you're not going to go, okay, family's secure, Cheryl's got the AK.
Pad my resume.
Stay here, I'll be right back. That's an option. That's an option. Somebody says, no, that's wrong. No, it's not. It's not wrong. Okay? Is it risky? Yes, it is. Okay? But is it wrong to do? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay? All right. Some guidelines for tactics. Okay? Number 1, keep your mission in mind. Okay? Keep your mission in mind. A lot of times, in the old days, and not so much in the old days like today, guys will go to a, quote, tactical class. Okay, guys, let's learn to clear a building. Okay, well, you're going, well, okay, that's all well and good, but, I need to know a little bit more. It's not just clear the building. I need to know why I'm clearing it in this way. I need to know why I'm using a handgun instead of a rifle. Okay, I need to know why I'm going slow instead of fast. All right, so you need to have your mission in mind. If your mission is this, stick to that mission. Now, your mission could change. Okay, that's okay. But you need to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Not just, I'm clearing the house because I'm cool. Okay? Right? You need to know why you're doing what you're doing and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Very much a Boyd thing, Not only be aware of what you're doing right now, but know where you're going and what you're going to do when you get there. Okay? All right. Which brings us to number 2. Think ahead. Don't get fixated on the problem at hand. Don't get so locked into, I'm clearing this corner, all right, that you forget the hallway that lays beyond the corner, okay? So understand the problem that you're handling now, but also think ahead of what's beyond here, okay? Okay, number 3, understand distance and angles. Okay? Again, you guys are teaching force on force and stuff like that. You should already know the application of this and why it's important. Understand distance and angles. Tactics is a study in angles, right? You're trying to work an angle on your opponent so that you can get to, you know, one of these down here. In fact, I forgot to put a little red dot down there. Okay? So you're working your distance and angles. As far as distance, here's the default thing about distance. Get as far away from the danger area. When you identify a danger area, get as far away from the danger area as the geography and mission allows. Okay? You know, again, sometimes guys get really weird about this stuff. Get away from the corner. They want to clear the corner from the next freaking county. Okay? Great, you clear the corner. Now you got to get right back on it because you got to go to the next obstacle. That's why I'm saying don't get fixated on the one problem. Remember the mission. Okay? So within reason, as much as the architecture and the mission allows, get as far away from the danger area as possible. Okay? And work for those angles. I'm going to shift you know, order here. All right? Every angle that you take, every move should be to put your eye and your gun muzzle on the target. Okay? You do not take one step in tactics that doesn't contribute to this end situation. Okay? Everything you do should be to put your eye and your gun muzzle on the threat. Okay? Alright. Know the trade-off between liabilities and advantages of different courses of action. I'll give you an example. Alright, you get up to a corner, alright, and you're in a search and clear mode. Okay? There is no reason for you to continue with the search. Your mission was, I heard a noise, and I'm not sure enough to go back to sleep. I'm not sure enough to call 911. Okay? So you grab your blaster, and you're kind of tactical, but kind of not, clearing and stuff like that. You come up to a corner, and you see a boot. Okay? And it's a size 12, and you're size 8, and you don't own any desert boots. Okay? That's a clue. You don't have any you know, protectees, family members, anything beyond the bad guy. There's nothing over there worth risking your life for. Okay? What's the advantage of you taking the corner and challenging that guy as opposed to going, oh, there really is a bad guy here. I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to call for reinforcements. Okay? What's the liability and advantage? Okay? You know, the advantage of taking the corner and taking the guy out, what do you gain? You get to shoot the bad guy, all right, but you really gain anything? No. Okay? The tactic of falling back, calling for reinforcements, maybe locking this guy down so he can't leave. What do you gain? The police are going to come and take him away. You don't get to shoot him. You don't have to shoot him. It's not going to cost you to shoot him. Okay? And you don't risk yourself engaging him. Okay? Which is the most economically tactical course of action. So you have to analyze all of that. Now, that could change, okay? That could change. Let's say that you're moving to your daughter's bedroom because you heard the sound there. What are you going to do? You're going to put a frickin' 9mm right in that boot, and then you're going to put a couple more in whoever's foot is in that boot. Okay? Because it's not one of yours. And you've got extraneous circumstances. Right? You know, what's the liability of now falling back and calling the police? Well, you're putting your family through some serious danger and problems, right? You know, are you willing now to risk more to prevent that? See, you have to think like that. Okay? All right, which brings us again to this other thing. This is an important phrase that I want you guys to use when you teach your class. Risk is the currency of tactics. Okay, risk is the currency of tactics. You want to take that corner? Great. This is what it's going to cost you in terms of risk. You want to take that corner, the T-intersection beyond it? Open up your bank account and see what your risk account says. Okay? You know, how much risk are you willing to take? You're by yourself in your own house. There ain't nobody else there. Okay? And you're up top. Okay? It's risky to clear the house looking for Billy Bob and T-Dog, especially because they're going to know you're coming. No matter how much of a ninja you are, they will hear you. Okay? Is anything down there worth the risk that you're incurring to go and search for them? If the answer is yes, fantastic, drive on. If the answer is no, don't pay that risk. Not necessary. Okay? All right? So these are the parameters that's going to drive how you carry all this stuff out. Okay? Okay, we're playing here with, you know, empty guns and airsoft and this and that, but you know, when people do it for real, people get killed. Okay? You know, and it's not like shooting a target. You know, you shoot somebody 3 feet away inside a closet, you know, it's a whole different story. And you know, the tables can be turned on you very, very quickly, no matter how good you are. Okay, so you know, you really have to be circumspect about whether you want to undertake this or not. And I'm not saying never do it. Certainly there's times when it's required or necessary, but understand, if it's not one of those times, don't do it. You know, this falls very much into the category of, you know, we're not afraid of the gunfight, okay? But we know the dangers of the gunfight, so if we don't have to get in one, we're not going to get in one, all right? You know, now the tactics that we're going to learn are going to help you to prevail if you do choose or have to get in one. Your target indicators, all right? Now, you know, those of you who've done, you know, like the high-risk operator stuff, sniper schools and things like that, you've heard target indicator before, okay? Same kind of concept. Inside a structure, it works very much the same way with some differences. Basically, the thing with target indicators is look for them, but don't produce them, okay? Or at least try not to produce them. I mean, if you're breathing and living, you're going to produce target indicators. All right, the thing is, you don't want to be careless about, in a tactical environment, you know, from producing this for the bad guy's advantage. A good definition is a target indicator is anything that is out of place, right? Anything that is out of place. If you see something out of place, don't assume that that's a normal condition. Verify it, check it, okay? In any case, some target indicators. Shape, shine, shadow, outline, smell, contrast, and environmental changes. Okay? Shape, what do you think? What's a, you know?
Rifle muzzle sticking out from a corner.
Yeah, okay, I mean, real simple. Okay, and it's not your rifle. Okay, or, you know, the thing that I should, you know, something that looks like a boot, or something that looks like an E, or something that looks like an elbow protruding from behind something. You know, you're not going to necessarily recognize what that shape is. You know, we're talking about the last class that we did where Rick was hiding back there. I saw a dark shape that kind of looked like a foot, but it was hard to tell because, you know, it was in a low light environment and everything. So what do? You start looking at the shape, okay? You look at the texture, what's it made of, everything else. You guys have seen those fold-up pictures that the shrinks show you when they're trying to disqualify you for your job. You know? You know, you look at it and you're going, okay, well,
It's a headshot.
you know,
It's an
it's an Uzi with a 32 round, right? And so, you know, the longer you look at it, the more that image starts to emerge, right? When you first look at it, what does it look like? Like somebody spilled some ink on a piece of paper, right? But you need to look at it and, you know, and let the brain kind of figure out, let it process it through the filters that you have. So, you know, when you're looking at these things, some of them are going to be real obvious, other ones are not going to be obvious. If you see something that looks like a target indicator, what do? Stop, wait, listen. What else is the environment? What else is available to you? You know, if you see a strange shape and you smell, you know, cigarette smoke and you don't smoke, okay, that's probably not a donut on the ground. It's probably somebody's foot. Okay, so you know, you look at the whole totality of it. Okay, so we got shape, shine, real simple. You know, watches, you know, eyeglasses. You know, anything that is going to reflect light. You know, if you're watching an area because you heard something, all of a sudden you see a glint of light. Okay, no, it's not Ghostbusters coming to visit your house. Okay, something caused that glint of light, that shine. You need to go and verify it now. Okay, that doesn't happen without a reason. Somebody caused that to happen. All right, shadow is, I mean, that's real simple, right? You're clearing the corner and there's a shadow there. Okay. It's my house. That shadow's never there. There must be something that changed to create that shadow. What is it? Okay? You need to be inquisitive. You need to ask yourself, guys, what you're talking about doing this stuff here, you're stalking somebody inside a building. That's what this is all about. Okay? Those of you guys that hunt out in the weeds, It's the same kind of stuff, except your quarry is a human being and your hunting field is a house or a building. All right? Shadow. Outline. Again, same thing kind of as shape, but a little bit more, clear. For example, illuminated background, and you see a shape, an outline of a human head peeking out, looking into that area. Okay, that's a little bit more clear than a brown blob there that could be, a sandwich, or it could be a foot, or it could be, you're not quite sure yet. An outline of a human figure, that's pretty clear. Okay. Now, when you're searching, do you want to, eliminate all of these for yourself if possible? Absolutely, because the bad guy's doing the same thing. All right? Smell. Okay? Again, you know what you smell like. You know what the people around you smell like. If there is a foreign smell in the area, you're going to pick up on it. Okay? Sometimes back in the day when I was searching, I'd go and I'd love to volunteer for searches. I would volunteer for as many searches as I could, because I thought it was a lot of fun to do, and I was, kind of learning and stuff like that. The more you want to learn something, the more you have to do it. And so, I'd go and I'd start searching, because there was some sort of a silent alarm or whatever. And, if you walk into an area and you know that it's an area that people smoke in continually all the time, it smells a certain way. You walk into an area that's a non-smoking environment, but there's a person that is a smoker that has entered into that environment, it smells different. Okay? It smells different if somebody's, got BO because they've been exerting themselves for a while. So, you pick up the smell, and that'll tell you a lot about what's going on in there, especially what you would call a foreign smell. Sweat, sometimes, cologne, sometimes cigarettes, sometimes food. All those things that, you guys, when you hunt, you smell for the animal. Well, it's the same thing in here. Okay? All right, contrast, again, it falls in the same category as shape and outline, things that are going to contrast with the background. Let's say that you got a white wall, okay, and you're wearing all black, and the wall's illuminated. Okay, should you be walking in front of that wall, wearing your black hoodie sweatshirt? Maybe it would be better if you change the lighting conditions, or if you take a different route so that you don't contrast with the background. Okay? All right, other thing, environmental changes. This is big, okay? This is big. When you left your house, the door was closed. Now it's open. That's a clue. The lights were on. Now they're off. Okay? There wasn't a cup of coffee there. All right? As you walk in, there's muddy footprints from someone who cut across your lawn. Okay, that wasn't there before. Environmental changes. They could be as obvious as that. They could be as subtle as temperature changes inside a room. I was doing a search for a bad guy one time, and we searched the entire house, okay? And it was in the wintertime and it's cold and stuff like that. We weren't really exerting ourselves because, it's a slow, methodical search. There wasn't anything else going on. This guy wasn't a real bad guy. He was just, we're just kind of passing the time because, we got 3 hours till end of watch, and we don't want him to give us something we don't want, so we're doing a building search, okay? And so we're clearing this house and everything else, and there was only one room where the bad guy could be, all right? And as I stepped into that room, the temperature of the room changed, okay? No, it wasn't Ghostbusters. It was that the bad guy had been in this room for a long time, hiding, and, there wasn't anybody else in the rest of the house. It was kind of an abandoned house. This room, human presence in there, okay? It smelled warm, okay? So automatically, what happens to your alert level? It goes up. Okay, so now you're like, okay, where in this room could he be, okay? All right? Bathroom, all right, great. You know what? Cover the stall there, okay? Get the MP5, get the pistol out. Nobody in there, okay, great. All right, what do we got? We got a cabinet here. Okay, cool. Reach up for the cabinet, and as you're reaching for the cabinet, the temperature's changing even more. Okay? If you're not paying attention to these things, you're not going to pick them up. Okay? Now, it's really warm in there, it's warmer out here, and it's cold out there. let me think now, okay? All right, dude, we know you're in there. You know, you better come out or we're gonna light you up. And sure enough, the thing opens up, one hand comes out, the other hand comes out, you know, and it was great, it was a lot of fun. You know, just little environmental changes like that that give you clues as to what's going on. You have to be alert for them, you have to be looking for them. Otherwise you miss them. Same thing as spoor with animals when you're hunting, it's the same thing. If you're not focused and paying attention, you're gonna miss these little telltale things, you know. Things as you know, as minor as when I was watching you guys in the HRO class, you know, do your little patrol, I could see every once in a while birds would take off and I go, oh, they're right up there, okay? But, you know, you need to be looking for these little telltale signs. Knowing that we're fighting in structures and houses, buildings, and so on and so forth, we need to look at the characteristics of buildings. All buildings are made up of what? Walls and corners, okay? Well, every house anywhere in the world, whether it's in a township, in some ghetto in Johannesburg, or the nicest mansion in Beverly Hills, California, they're all made out of walls and corners, okay? There's no way, to clear a wall, you look at the wall, okay, nobody's standing in front of it, it looks clear to me, okay? So instead we focus on corners, all right? If you understand how to do a corner, you will understand how to deal with every obstacle inside a man-made structure, and a lot of natural features as well, okay? What is a T-intersection?
Two corners.
Two corners with a wide area in between them. What's a door? Two corners with a narrow area in between them. What's a staircase?
Vertical.
You know, vertical corner, okay? It's all the same stuff. So really when you're teaching this and when you're studying it, really pay particular attention to the cornering aspect. And guys will go, I'm tired of doing corners, I want to do something. Shut up, do as you're told. Okay? Corners, corners, corners. This is the right practice of tactics. Okay? All right. Okay? It's your corner. All right? First thing, right or left. Is it a right-handed corner or a left-handed corner? Okay? Why is that important? It's going to dictate how you hold your blaster. Okay? And when we get out there and start doing this, you'll realize why that is. Okay? If it's a right-handed corner, you keep the pistol in your right hand and you can move around that corner very carefully without overexposing parts of your body. If you try and take a right-handed corner left-handed or a left-handed corner right-handed, what's going to happen is you're going to expose the other side of your body to the danger area unnecessarily. Okay? Since we're very much an ambidextrous school, you know, it makes sense to do this. Okay? You know, we were doing this sort of by happenstance back in the old days. Nobody told us that, you know, we have to be ambidextrous. It just made sense because, you know, we really believed that there was a guy on the other side of the corner with an SKS ready to light us up. Okay? So then you start thinking, you know what? I really don't want to overexpose myself to that corner because if I do, he's going to shoot me. Okay? That's a target indicator. You know, again, it's important. It's important to identify the corner early so you can start approaching it early. What you basically do is you lock your vision onto this edge right there, okay? And as much as the geography will allow, all right, you basically, you basically pivot around that corner in kind of a half circle, okay? So, you know, it'll look like something like that. Okay? Now, are there limits to how big you can make that circle? Yeah. The opposite wall. Okay? For instructional purposes, we'll eliminate this wall right here. Okay? Now, you know how some instructors, they're lazy and they use terminology that causes people to develop mental pictures that aren't correct? That's what slicing the pie does. And for instructional guys, it's a shortcut because they can say, okay, you take one slice here, you take one slice there, right? And you know, to simple minds, they're thinking, oh, I know how to slice a pie because I eat a lot of pies, that's why I weigh 300 freaking pounds, and, you know.
It's the difference between slicing the pie and turning a page.
Exactly, okay? That's in essence what you're doing. But it's important, tell them identify the apex, connect their gun muzzle to that apex, and then they pivot around the apex, okay? Limited only by the architecture, all right? Now, from over here, this is how much of this area this guy has control over, okay? He has control over all this area right here. He doesn't have control of anything in here, okay? And he realizes, you know what? Do I have enough to just step across this corner right now? Nope, not yet. Okay, so what he's going to do is he's going to go over here, okay? And then he buys for a little bit more real estate visually. If you can see it, you can dominate it because you're armed with a weapon that you can project force with, right? If I can look into a space, I can put a bullet in that space, I own that space, it's mine. Okay? All right, does he have enough yet? No. And you got to keep asking yourself the same question, do I have enough? Okay, now listen, if you're doing a search and clear, where you have all the time in the world, there's no duress for you taking that space, do you have enough yet? No. But if you have the screaming in your daughter's bedroom going on, you're going to push how fast you handle this. You're still going to do it, but you're going to do it faster, and you're going to be cutting some corners, literally. Okay? I'll show you how that would work in a minute here. Okay? He buys a little bit more visually. Okay, no problem. He goes over here. He buys a little bit more visually. Doesn't see anything yet. Now here's the interesting thing that never gets talked about in tactical schools. You see that imaginary line there? Okay? That's a continuation of this wall right here. Okay? That's not liberty or death, that's line of danger. Okay? Line of danger. The closer you get to that line, the more you're exposed to the bad guy. If you cross over that line, you're in his territory. Because he can see into this space, and he can put rounds into this space. Okay? Alright? So what does the bad guy see? Think of it. A lot of guys don't even think about this. What does the bad guy see? The bad guy sees that much. Okay? So, you know, it's not this line right here. It's somewhere beyond this line, or before this line. Okay, that you have to start being careful. And what a lot of guys do, and they teach, is this. Okay? You know, like if I'm taking this corner, okay, they go here and they go, okay, a little bit more, 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 you know, and they keep doing that little, I don't know, tango step, or what do you call that goofy march that they do, okay? You know, and what they're doing is they get to this point, they're going, okay, I'm giving the bad guy a foot, I'm giving the bad guy a knee, I'm giving the bad guy a hip, I'm giving the bad guy my arm. That's what they're doing, okay? So the closer the good guy gets, see, like right now, this is the line of death right here, okay, or line of danger. Okay, here, this is as close as I would want to get to it. Okay, because if I get any farther in, I'm giving the bad guy now information that I'm coming. Bad guy is not an idiot. That's another you know, great American sin. We forget history, we always underestimate our enemies. Okay? You know, don't think that you're hunting some stupid meth freak that's got his brain, you know, wired. You know, think that you're hunting some Delta guy that went bad. Okay? You don't think that he knows how this works? Oh yeah, he sure does. Okay? So don't give him anything. Alright? So, you know, you start getting up to this point here, okay, and you're going to have to make a decision. Line of danger, line of death, line of decision. Okay, a lot of times in training I say, you come to the point of decision, this is it right here. Okay? So that D could mean many things. And the closer you start getting to this, you're going to have to make up your mind, okay, and ask yourself, okay, do I have enough or do I not? Okay, now at some point, if the good guy, he gets in here and he looks and he sees those are feet, by the way. Okay, and he sees that.
The Crocs.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are Crocs. You know, okay? We know about Pink Mark. Anyway. Okay, so he sees that. Okay, what can the bad guy do now? Well, now he's got intel on what's going on the other side there. If he's doing the search and clear, what can he do? He can go, okay, now I know. Back up. Hey guys, I need you to come out here. I got a home invader or whatever, or call for backup, whatever the case is. If you don't need to take that corner, you don't need to take that corner. But if you do need to take that corner, isn't it cool to know where he is?
Exactly. If he's in between
Right?
you and your objective.
Okay? So now you have that information. Now the problem is, okay, a lot of guys, they go, yeah, I see his foot, but I need more target ID. Well, okay. Well, how are you going to do that? So now you go over here. Now look at what the bad guy sees. Okay, he sees this, you know, that. Okay, there's your Daniel Defense handguards and whatever, right? Okay, that's what the bad guy sees. So now what is it? Now the odds are even. Whoever starts the fight's going to win, potentially. Okay, so this fight should have started, okay, right here. Right here, because if you take any more steps,
And you're giving
him command and signal about where you are and what your intentions are. Okay? Now here's the thing. What's the disposition of the bad guy here? Is he there doing bad guy stuff? Is he there, you know, just kicking back, chilling out? Okay? Or is he there like this? Okay? What is that bad guy doing? Do you know? No. You don't know. Okay? If he's just hanging out and you take that corner, do you have a very strong tactical advantage? Absolutely. Okay? If he's there, you know, stealing stuff, all right, and all of a sudden he looks over, you know, right? We've seen that look before. It's really cool. Okay? Especially over the sights of an MP5. You know, do you have the tactical advantage? Absolutely. If he's there pointed in ready for you, I'll tell you why you still have a tactical advantage. When you practice this, when you train it, you have to assume that the bad guy is ready for you. Okay? If he's not, all the better. If he is, you'll see why this is an important asset to you. Okay? Any questions so far? Any questions about why it's foolish to continue in the incremental search once you start getting close to that LOD? Okay, all right, now, what do we have here? Let me draw it for you in a different way. You guys familiar with that configuration?
Oh, yeah.
Right? What is it? It's your force-on-force exercise.
Yes.
Okay? Except it happens to be like this. Okay? Okay, here's the wall. There's the corner. Okay? All right. Now, who's starting this fight? Hopefully you. You are.
You are.
Okay? You are. Now, that's why you have to be quiet, because if you're noisy, who's going to start the fight?
The bad
The
guy.
bad guy's going to start the fight. Okay? Which is the line of movement that is most beneficial to you when you've got this configuration set up in the force-on-force world?
Four diagonals.
Right here, right? Okay? You guys that have done SWAT school before, have you ever seen guys run the walls?
Yes.
Okay, that would be from here, and they go zip.
Yes.
Okay, what are you doing? You're attacking at 12 o'clock. Prior experience, what does that tell us when we attack at 12 o'clock?
There's a reason they call it suicide drill.
Yeah, okay? So, you know what? Most of the SWAT guys in the US right now, around the world, this is what they're doing, okay? All right? Fortuitous outcomes, reinforce bad tactics, okay? It's a line from one of my old SWAT instructors, Gary Roverino, LA Sheriff's SEB, I think it was Gold Team, probably one of the best SWAT teams in the world. I went to their SWAT school a number of times. Fortuitous outcomes reinforce bad tactics. What does that mean? You can do something wrong 1,000 times, but if nothing goes wrong, you'll think it's right. Okay? Don't be that guy. All right? We know what happens when we stand here and shoot it out with somebody. We know what happens when we stand there and shoot it out with him as we run forward. We both get shot. You get to the line of decision, you pick your 1 o'clock, and you move into this area here. Okay?
Can you paint that in another color?
Sure. And I'll see if the editors, we'll see if the editors can
Makes
do one of those cool, you know,
Yeah, graphic.
graphic things to make Magpul jealous. Okay, anyway, the bad guy. Okay, if he's not paying attention and you get the drop on him, do you shoot him? It depends. It depends. But you know what? You have options, don't you? Okay? I'm not saying don't, I'm not saying do. What I'm saying is you have options. All right? Nothing says that as you're clearing, you can't, don't move, you know, and control him and stuff. There's a risk to that too. Okay? A lot of it depends on your situation. There are circumstances where you won't be challenging him, you'll just be shooting. There are circumstances where you will be challenging him. Okay? You know, we allow circumstances to dictate how we're going to handle this. Okay? And that's how you portray it to the students, because there's a lot of guys there that they've read too much liability. They've had that much tactics and that much liability, and that's all they think about. Don't let guys like that hijack your class. You tell them, look, there's a time and a place for everything. You know, if you're worried about this and that, fine. You can, you know, you can come to terms with that later on your own time. Be happy to talk to you at lunch, whatever. But right now, we're hunting the bad guy. Please don't get in the way of hunting the bad guy. Simple as that. Like I said, there's nothing reactive about grabbing a pistol and going and searching for bad guys. So you have this in your hand. You're ready to go. If the students are running something like a 1911 or whatever, something with a safety on it, our philosophy on that is as soon as the pistol's in the hand, safety's off. You know, you rely on this as your safety tool, and, you know, end of story. Not much else needs to be said. Okay, let's say we're looking at this corner as a problem area. Okay, well, number one, if I had all the room possible, I'd be clearing from that position over there. But again, you know, you're not always going to have that much room. So let's assume that this is a barrier here that extends all the way out. So this is as far as I can go. Okay, well, the first thing I do is what? I look at this corner, I identify it hopefully from back over here. Okay? What's the first thing I need to identify about the corner?
Left hand, right.
Okay, well, the apex, which is right here. Okay, now the apex could be tall or low, so it's not just the point down here. I'm looking at this entire edge right here. Okay, what else do I know about this corner right here?
Left hand.
It's a right-handed corner, right? If I was coming at it from this side, it would be a left-handed corner, as you'll see when we start playing the angles here. Okay, so I've got my pistol up. Now I don't have to have it here like this. This pistol could float depending on where it needs to go. So it could be extended, it could be contracted. It doesn't matter. The only key thing is that your muzzle and your eye are oriented in the same direction right now. Okay? I generally like to clear with a pistol in tight like this. Okay? You know, the reason is, as you approach the danger area, what are you going to do with the pistol? You're going to bring it in anyway, because you imagine taking the corner like this, like they do in some of those venues there. It's not going to work so well. So why not just go ahead and start with a pistol here anyway? Okay, so I approach that corner and realize, okay, there's the apex, right-handed corner, no problem. I visually identify that apex and I start moving in this direction to see what is beyond the corner. Okay, so I point in, okay, very nice. I come in nice and tight. I'm aware of lighting conditions, any shadow that I may create. Okay, now look at my footwork here because this is crucial. I'm not doing this and moving sideways. Okay, it's difficult for me to move naturally and with any degree of speed. Also, if I realize, man, it was a mistake to take this corner, I need to get the heck out of Dodge. Okay, I'm set up sideways like this, not a good idea. Okay, don't be a slave to your shooting platform. Your shooting platform has to be flexible and adaptable to your situation. So instead, what I like to do, you know, like we do with all our movement, I like to point my feet in the direction of travel. Okay, so instead, I'll work it this way. Okay, now I'm very careful that my pistol is preceding my feet. I don't want to be doing this. Okay? And I exaggerate it, but you get the idea. Okay, a lot of guys will do that, where they're here like this and they're going like that. Well, the foot preceded them into that unknown space, right? The thing that needs to go first is your eye and the gun muzzle. Okay, so I'm here like this. I'm inclined forward a little bit. Now I might lose the hat, you know, so the hat brim doesn't create an issue. All right, I'm pointing in, I'm looking down, I'm looking up, wherever I'm looking, that's where that gun muzzle is oriented. Okay, I'll take a little bit more, and so on. Up until I start getting close to that line of decision where I think, you know what, this is as far as I want to go with this corner. All right, that's when you now decide, I'm going to take the rest of the space here. Okay, and in this case, if I'm not loaded up, I may take 1 foot back you don't really need to do a takeoff here because the takeoff is a reactionary drill for a sudden attack, okay? I'm causing this. So I have the luxury now to set this foot up, load the leg, and then move into that space quickly, okay? I'm focusing deep into that hard corner, into that space when I take the corner because I've seen everything else I need to see. The only area that has been unchecked is that deep angle down there, so that's what I need to focus on, okay? So again, from here, all right, I'm pointed in, I identify the corner, I'm moving in, hopefully I'm working it right so that my eye and muzzle are preceding me into the space. Now for example, look at how I'm positioned right now. If all of a sudden, maybe he heard or you know, realized that I was there, and I realized, oh my gosh, he's coming around the corner with something, am I in a position where I can move from here? Yeah, my left leg is loaded. It's very easy now to transition in any type of movement that I want. Wouldn't be as easy to do if I was standing sideways. Okay? So again, walk natural. Okay, this whole thing about having to shuffle, step, and crab walk, I don't know what kind of misshapen individual developed that in the training community, but seriously guys, you don't need to do that. Okay? Alright, so here like this, lean in, take a look, okay, I don't see anything, get a little bit more, look high, look low, always look at those angles as well. Okay? Too many guys just focus straight ahead. There might be something up there where a bad guy positioned himself or down low. Okay, if I was a bad guy, I was waiting for, you know, good guy to take a corner, I'd probably take a low position because good guys very seldom, you know, look low. Okay? All right, so I've seen what I need to see. I'm getting real close to that line of decision. And I think, all right, I need to take the space. So I load up my legs, I'm ready to go, and then I spring, again, on an angle that way, and I take that corner quickly. All right, I don't see anything, very good. I bend the corner, I go on to the next problem. Okay? Questions? Yes?
It really is a game of patience until you get to the line of decision now.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
It is.
you could easily rush it too much.
And you know what? Guys do that all the time.
Yeah.
They do. They rush it all the time because they get impatient. You know, the pressure, it starts dominating them. Okay, you guys that have actually hunted out in the woods on animals, you have any successful impatient hunters?
No.
No. They always go home with great stories and no meat. Right? The guys that are the best hunters are the patient ones. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you something here, all right, that probably is going to upset a lot of people watching the DVD, but you know, that always encourages me. Okay? Where's your trigger finger?
That's a dangerous space. My finger's on the trigger.
Okay? Your default should be finger off the trigger. That should be your default. Okay? But there are times when if you have information about what's over there, you know, and it's, you know, the apprehension level's increased, where you may have your finger on the trigger. For example, there would be nothing wrong, okay, if I'm searching this, and I'm now going to take this corner, where I'm taking the corner with my finger on the trigger. Okay, now you notice I'm not, there's a difference between touching the trigger and doing that. Okay? How do you keep from shooting the gun? Well, just don't do it. Okay? It's the same as when you're cutting a steak. You got a sharp knife. How do you keep from cutting your fingers off? Well, you're not cutting your fingers. Same thing here. Okay? Now, something I want to mention. I've been to the Cody Museum. I've been to the Gene Autry Museum. I know, Roger, you and I have talked about this before. You look at the guns, a lot of the old timers. These are guys that, you know, they shot 20, 30, 40 people in a career. Okay? And, you know, a lot of those guns, they had trigger guards removed and things like that. You know, you look at a lot of the old pictures. In fact, we were just looking at something on the blog, a picture of Applegate, you know, in his low rating. He's like this. Okay? You know, like this. All right? So all of a sudden, 1975 rolls around, and all of a sudden, all those people that came before were automatically stupid, and we were suddenly enlightened that we have to operate like this all the time? I don't think so. Okay? I think that there is a, well, you know, to use this, the C word, a continuum of sorts with whether you're going to have finger on the trigger, finger off the trigger. Your default should be off the trigger, but there comes a time when you are going to have your finger on the trigger. Okay? You know, if you're dealing with beginners, if you are a beginner, probably you shouldn't be doing that because you need to have that self-control where you know that you're not going to create a mishap for yourself. So that's an advanced technique for advanced shooters. But it is a viable thing to consider. Okay? Hey guys, you know, one advantage of bringing the pistol inboard like this, okay, is that it clears the line for your line of sight, okay? Matter of fact, let's do something. I want somebody to come and clear this corner, okay? But work it with a high gun where you're pointed in like this, you know, the classic American, you know, gun school thing. Let me take a position first. Now again, we're kind of brainstorming this, but look at what you miss if you keep your pistol up in your line of sight here. Okay, now again, assuming you can't see the legs and whatnot. Go ahead.
Yep.
You see what I'm talking
Yep,
about?
You got me right there because my hands are in my way.
Yeah. So, and again, it doesn't take a lot of effort for a bad guy to just, you know, get down on the deck. But if you're here like this, moving, your eyes have the freedom to search the entire area in front of you. You know, and if you pick up the bag, wham, there he is. You can drive the gun. Hell, you can start shooting him right here. You've been through the right training.
Yeah, we all know shooters across there.
Yep. So, you know, again, just consider kind of bringing it in. The advantage of this over that, you know, that low ready stuff is, okay, you see him there, you still need to bring the gun up, because where's the gun pointing in low ready? At the deck. Same thing with Sewell position. But here, you know, it's like I'm looking over there, I can, you know, right? I'm pretty much good to go. Some guys will say, yeah, but you're violating Rule 2. You know what? That's not our Rule 2. Okay? We don't roll that way. We point guns at people all the time, and we think it's cool. So,
Dave, I found with the parole board that when people come up and do this, the gun steers them through the house.
yeah, exactly.
They just follow
Exactly,
all the
exactly. You know, and it's a dangerous habit to get into. You know, it's like they think the gun's a shield and they're hiding behind it.
Yeah.
It's not, okay? You know, and what it leads to is a lot of this stuff. If you stay where you are, okay? All right, you know, this kind of stuff here,
Yep.
Projection.
Got your muzzle
Right?
in your hands.
okay? Because it's almost like they get this, it's like if you put a scope on the gun and they're looking through the scope. You know, they forget, no, this is not a shield, this is a target. Bring it in, control it, you know. You can go like this, yeah, I see up there, okay, I see down here, okay, I need to point there, but, you know, it should kind of float in this general area, okay? You know, I think that too much gun training has developed around this fixed ready position thing. You know, where it's got to be here, it's got to be here, you know, but no, the gun needs to float, it really does, okay? You see what I mean about,
That-
you missed that whole,
Yeah, there was no way I could see down
Yeah.
there. If your legs were hidden,
yeah,
there was no way I
yeah.
was.
So you know what, it gets even worse with a long gun. So, but anyway, go ahead, guys.
Gabe, can I add
Yes,
one more thing?
yeah,
When we're using this position, make sure that we're looking at parallel to the ground, because that gives us our shooting platform right
Exactly.
from there. If you come into press, you're going to have to reorientate. So you may want to, you go low and look down, you go up and look.
yeah. Matter of fact, who had that? Somebody's got a crimson trace on there. Okay, give that to Roger. Roger, go ahead and clear. Okay, let me get this position again. Now, watch the laser on me, okay? And that'll give you an indication when Roger and Raider start lighting me up. On this side of airsoft. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do the sunny thing and just kind of get real sneaky over here.
It's on your finger.
Yeah, trigger finger.
Okay? You see that? I mean, that red dot was on me right away. Okay? And I don't believe that he had to, you know, I don't know, do you even extend?
No, no,
Okay? So,
not necessary.
and again, we're using the laser as a teaching point so you guys can see where those bullets would have impacted. You don't need to do it with a laser. You know, as long as you have that hand-eye coordination, you have those you know, index points and everything else developed, which, you know, we all should have by this time. You know, it's not a big deal. Okay? Especially close-range environments like this. Okay, guys, let's gather up over here. Let's talk about, you know, how to work a left-handed corner. Obviously, if you're a left-handed guy, you've already kind of figured this out on your own with the right-handed corner.
Right-handed world.
Right? Okay? But if you have a left-handed corner, for example, okay, I'm coming into this problem from here, and I'm dealing with that corner over there. Okay? Let's say I come out of Swain's office here, and I go, oh, good grief, I've got to take that corner now. All right? Okay, now, the first thing, you identify the apex. Okay, that's my corner there. I don't want to jump out into this space because the bad guy's going to, you know, be able to take advantage of me. So I identify the left-handed corner. Now, what's the problem here? Okay? If I stay right-handed, you know, you look at the majority of the training out there, it's like they make you right-handed, your left hand is always stupid, It can never do anything, all right? Might as well just chop off your entire left arm, all right? So what they try and do is they try and have you right-handed take this left-handed corner, so you end up with guys doing this sort of thing here, okay? The problem is you can't walk normal, okay? I mean, you know what? I do a lot of stretching, but this is kind of, you know, that's not any good. So guys, they turn into this right away. We've already established how bad, you know, the footwork issues are when you're set up. Try to run the 100-yard dash sideways. It's nowhere, okay? So you want to set your body up like this, okay? Now, you got some options. You can do it one-handed, but what's this hand doing? Is this hand too stupid to shoot the gun? No, it's not. And we do a lot of ambidextrous work, okay? So there's absolutely no reason why the minute you identify a left-handed corner, you don't go, okay, left-handed guy, here we go. Okay, and you do the same thing. If you have an issue with the elbow projecting, turn the pistol like this, okay? You know, we talk about the homie like this is an Australian homie, okay? Right, automatically what that does, it drops the elbow down, gets you, you know, out of the way. And again, you can compress like this, and what you're doing is you're walking, pistol's leading, You know, if I have concern, okay, like right there, I see Roger's pistol. At this point, you know what? Finger off the trigger doesn't make a lot of sense, okay? I know that he's a hostile, he's got a pistol in his hands. Am I worried about shooting him now? No, I want to shoot him. Why would I want to make this difficult for myself? So I'm going to go finger on the trigger at this point. Okay? And I'm going to take that spot. Okay? Again, we're running gas only here, no airsoft. But what that allows me to do is it allows me to take this angle with speed, with aggression, which I wouldn't be able to do if my body was all twisted up like this, okay? Or if I gave him, you know, the information that I was coming. Go ahead and take that position again and just tell me when you see me. In fact, just stand there and point your blaster in this direction. Now, he's got some advantages because he's got the schedule thing on the wall and the fire extinguisher and stuff like that, okay? I'm going to go right-handed first, okay? And I'm going to handle it like most, you know, shooting school graduates would handle it, okay? Basically, here I go. Right-handed, I'm just going to go outward a little bit, okay? And I'm just going step at a time, okay?
Elbow, shoulder, shoulder.
See, I don't see a damn thing, okay? And Roger's got me at this point, okay? If he's an aggressive adversary, you know, and you know what? In a shoot house, is the paper target going to jump out and kick my ass? No, it's just a piece of paper, okay? But an adversary, that's exactly what he would do. What would you do if you see somebody stalking you like this? First, you're going to go, thank you, Lord, for a stupid adversary, and you're going to jump out here and you're going to light him up, okay? All right, now look at it the other way, okay? Left-handed corner, transition, okay? And I start working it this way, okay? You know, get rid of the hat because, you know, that would give me away, all right? What do I see? Nothing, okay? Okay, I see something there. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. Remember those shapes that we're talking about? Okay, because of the position I've taken, I allow my eyes to see better than if I'm over here like this. You see? Okay, so I see something there. I'm not quite sure what it is. Okay, I need to see a little bit more. Okay, and I'm being tentative. I'm being very careful because I'm getting real close to that line of decision. I see something that looks like a shirt. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'm very apprehensive about coming any closer to this line because, now watch this. Okay, notice where I am. Matter of fact, let's take the sunglasses off, but let's leave the hat where I stopped. Okay? All right, Roger, I'm basically going to just incrementally take another, you know, slice at a time. You tell me when I start coming in your line of view.
There.
Okay? See how much difference? Right? That's what, a foot. Okay? Back here, what do you see?
Nothing.
Okay? All right? Now I've seen something that I've seen gray. Okay? And I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know. What is that? Is it a shirt? I'm not sure. Okay? I've come to that point of decision. I'm either going to take the space or I'm going to go, you know what? I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to back off and call for reinforcements. If I need to take it, okay, I'm going to take it dynamically. My gun is covering him the minute I enter that space. Okay? And you see the angle, it's right here, right? This would be the 11 o'clock line in the force-on-force matrix. Okay? See the difference? Why it's so important that you don't have a weak hand? You got right hand and left hand. They both need to be strong.
Left eye, right eye.
Yeah, which eye was I using to search? You know, unless you're, Captain Hook and you know what I mean? Use all your resources, guys. Seriously, why would you not? What, your left eye is stupid now too? No, use all your resources.
If you're strongly right eye dominant and you can't get that left eye to take over, go ahead and close the right eye. This is more important than a little peripheral.
At this point in time, yes it is. Yes it is. Okay? Cool? All right, now, it becomes even more important. Where's the AK? I gotta use my AK, man, you know? All right? Okay. Even more important with long gun. Because with long gun, okay, remember, the hat is where Roger first picked me up visually. Okay? Now, this guy's trying to do this right-handed. Okay? It turns into this. You know, this is like stupid.
It's half your body right there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I come up to the corner. Left-handed corner. No problem. We know how to do this. You notice what I did? I had trapped the sling before. Why do I want to trap the sling? Because watch.
Doesn't swing out in front of you, gives you length.
Okay. Look for the sling, Rich.
Yeah.
All right. Listen. If you see a sling swinging in space somewhere, it's probably attached to a rifle, and that rifle's probably attached to a bad guy. Okay? That would be a clue. All right? So, we trap the sling when we're working. Right here, no big deal. Nothing changed. Okay? Now you do the same thing with the rifle. You roll it outward. Okay? Do I need to be stuck in my aim point here when I'm clearing? No. Okay? Can you work it from down here? Absolutely. So I'm working this way. Okay, what have I got? I'm not sure what I got. Okay. Okay, there's that patch of gray again. And Roger's trying to suck in his gut and be sneaky and everything else, but I can see something there. What have you got, Roger? Anything?
Nope.
Okay. Now, again, I'm going to go incremental again. I'm just going to take one more step.
Elbow right there.
Okay. Now, all I see from my perspective here is a patch of gray. It could be a shirt, it could be a fixture, I don't know. Okay? Here I see a little bit. Okay? This is what I'm telling you about those target indicators. You need to be alert for them. A lot of people will see a patch of gray and go, that's nothing. And they'll take another slice. And now he sees you. Now it's an even fight. I don't want to be in an even fight. I want to ambush him and shoot him in the back when he's not looking. Okay? All right, so I go here and go, you know what? I need to take the space. Bam! Right there. No problem. Okay? All right? That's why it's so important to be ambidextrous. Even more so with this than with a pistol.
Also, not to be a slave to your mount. I mean, just work that mount however you
Yeah.
work
You know,
it.
how is that working like this?
Exactly.
Okay? You know, most rifles, they see that and they go, oh, this guy's all screwed up. Put it in context here and try and do this with a perfect, you're going to get smoked by the other guy.
Would you use the folder?
The only time that I would use a folder is if I had a very tight area to search where, you know, the rifle was ungainly. But even then, you know, can I clear like this? That's perfectly acceptable. Okay, I can pivot around this muzzle, you know, anywhere. Doesn't matter where the stock is, especially with an AK. All right, best place to work with a stock folded, you know, is if you're in a vehicle and you're basically sitting in here like this and you're responding, you know, to threats. But, you know, generally, anytime that I'm going to use this, I'll keep it open, especially with a short rifle like this. So, okay, cool. We're setting up our tactics for the worst case situation, which is the bad guy prepared for you, waiting. Okay? Circumstances could be less. Now the problem is sometimes guys will develop methods for clearing this problem when the circumstances are in fact less. One situation is the quick peek, and guys will bring it up in class. Mr. Chambers, what about the quick peek? Okay.
Target indicator.
All right. The problem with it is, if you got the guy that's smoking the joint, waiting for his buddy to come out, will the quick peek work? Yeah. Okay? If you've got the guy that's going through your stuff or somebody else's stuff, stealing, whatever, will the quick peek work? Yeah, his back is turned to you, or he's busy doing bad guy stuff. He's not there waiting for you. But if you have the bad guy that is, you know, right here because you heard something, okay, and you do a quick peek, what are you giving him?
Dark indicator.
You're giving him information, okay? Bad guys are not stupid. Bad guys are very, very capable operators. What would you do if you're given a position, hold that ground, okay, and all of a sudden the head pops out and goes back? What are you going to do? You're going to attack that corner. You're going to light that dude up. Why is the bad guy now all of a sudden stupid? Wouldn't he do the same thing? If you have to take a corner incrementally, in other words, this is not in the playbook for whatever reason, okay? Can you do it the other way, which is what most of the schools teach, where you go, you know, a little bit more, 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 and so on. Can you do that? Yeah. If you are going to do that, I would suggest very, very strongly, don't do it from this position here, okay? Because bad guys, good guys, whenever people are looking for stuff, they're doing this, okay? You know, they're not looking up and they're not looking down. If you need to do the incremental deal, okay, lower your platform. This is where your physicality comes into play. You know, your ability to lower your platform, to take a knee, maybe to go into that Spetsnaz prone or whatever, so you can see under things and whatever. There may be circumstances where that's called for. Now, again, understand liabilities and advantages. Okay, the advantage is I get to see into this corner a little bit deeper with a little bit more care. What liability? Then I start lowering my profile, you know what, unless you're a very gifted freak of nature, it's really hard to move from there. So you're giving up your mobility. All right? I'm not saying never do it, but understand the differences there. Sometimes I see guys that are clearing, they come to a corner, okay, they see the corner, they take a knee, they do Spetsnaz prone, they do a roll, they get back up, you know, and it's like, yes, cool, very good, you know. Right? Well, okay, but I'm not saying that wouldn't be a good tactic. But don't do that. Don't do that as just a rote thing. I see a corner. This is how I handle the corner. You're doing too much. You're asking too much of yourself and the environment. If you're going to have one canned solution, one default to the corner, I suggest that this is it, with some variations for special circumstances. Okay, T intersections. What do we got?
Two corners.
Two corners. Okay. Usually the area between the corners is vast because what this is really is the intersection of two hallways. Okay, intersection of two hallways. All right. Now, what are the possibilities here? Okay. One, no bad guys. Two, bad guy on right. Three, bad guy on left. Four, bad guy right and left. Okay? Which one is the best for us? No bad guys. Then we can do whatever, and it doesn't matter, because there's nobody there. Right? Okay, bad guy on the right, bad guy on the left, or two bad guys. Okay, how do you know?
You don't know.
You don't know. You don't know. When you're over here, you have no idea what's on either side. Right now, from the good guy's perspective, I'll change colors here. From the good guy's perspective, he can see here, and he can see here. That's his vision, okay? And usually, there's a wall. That's as much as he can see. So all of this is unknown space, all of that is unknown space. Okay? Now, which way is the good guy going to go? He's going to have to determine where he wants the search to take him, okay? So if he wants to end up over here or over here, he's going to have to make a decision which corner he's going to clear first. Okay? This is going to take a long time. Now, the thing that I'll tell you is this. As a lone operator, if you don't have to do this, don't do it. Okay? If you don't have to do it, don't do it. If you have a T intersection in your house, put some freaking mirrors up there so you can use them to your advantage to see. Okay? Or start your search from an area where you get to avoid this sort of thing. Why is a T intersection a problem? Because you have one danger area, two danger areas. How many ways can you look at one time? Unless you can pull your eyeballs out of your head and turn them and look either side, you can only look one direction at a time. If you guess wrong, it sucks to be you. All right, that's the bottom line. Okay? So what you have to do is you have to kind of really analyze and ask yourself, do I really need to take this obstacle? Okay? If the answer is yes, carry on. If the answer is no, don't do it. Okay? All right. So, good guy sees this. Right corner, left corner. Oh, we got both. Okay? So, for the most part, the good guy can keep the gun in whatever is his most dexterous hand. Up until he starts getting close to this, actually I'll use a third color because we're cool here. Okay? The closer he starts getting to that line of decision, line of danger, you know, he's going to start becoming more ambidextrous with a pistol, because the closer he gets to this, the more likelihood he's going to be exposing himself to the bad guys. Okay? In the beginning, it's not that big of a deal. In your training to enforce the right and left capability of your students, right in the beginning, if it's a right-handed corner, go right-handed. If it's a left-handed corner, go left-handed. But the truth is, until you start getting close to that line of decision, it's not that big a deal. Okay? All right. So,
Probably has also to do with your mission. Let's say bedroom is that way on the hallway. You might,
exactly.
you know, I have to go that way.
Well, if you are going to do it quickly, okay, you're going to blow through a lot of this stuff. You're still going to, the mechanics are going to be the same, okay? But you're just going to be accelerating how you get it done, okay? Because again, you know what? You got the hostage rescue, whatever you have to accomplish. You're not going to do anybody any good if you arrive there dead, right? So, you know, you have to still look for your own safety while you're doing this. Although the risk that you're taking is going to be considerably greater because you're not going to be taking the time to clear properly. Okay? All right. So the good guy, he sees all of that. Great. So you know he moves over here. Okay? And he adds all of that to what he sees. All right? And he may actually move over here. Okay? And see a little bit more. Okay? Cool. Then he's going to go across here, and he's going to add all of that. Okay? He's seen a little bit more, no problem. Okay? So he goes here, and he adds a little bit more. And then he goes over here, and he adds a little bit more. Okay, you kind of see how that's working? Okay, so basically you're doing two corners at once. All right? Now you start to see how quickly you start getting close to this danger line. All right? What has he not seen? Okay? Anything above this orange line, he hasn't seen. All right? This gets a little hairy, doesn't it? Okay? If you don't have to do it, don't do it. If you do have to do it, here is a way it's going to minimize the danger to you. All right. From the force on force world, this really sucks. Okay? Bad guy. Bad guy. Good guy. Okay? All right, now one would ask, are the bad guys really going to position themselves this way? You know what? I don't know. But what I do know is that you don't know which corner the bad guy is behind. You don't know what their attention level is. You don't know what their plans are. All you know is that you can't see a thing over here or over here. Okay? That's all you really know. All right? Now, of what we have here, what is the worst case situation? You have two bad guys, they're both focused on that portal, and they're ready for you. That's the worst case situation, isn't it? Okay? So anytime that we don't know something, we have to prepare for the worst. Are you always going to have the worst? No, probably not. Most of the time, you know what you're going to have? No bad guys. Yeah, fantastic, no problem. Okay? But if you do come across a situation where there are two bad guys, which is the worst case situation, this will help you. Okay? It'll also help you if there's one bad guy and you guess wrong. Okay? All right, now here's something that I want to put out. As a lone operator, okay, as a lone operator, how dangerous is this for you? Very dangerous. Okay? If you don't have to do it, I wouldn't do it. Okay, and I've done this stuff for real for 15 years. Okay, and I'll tell you, if you don't have to do it, don't do it. if you do have to do it, you had better have a damn good reason why you're risking yourself that much. And if you're risking yourself that much, it usually means that you are, somebody's life is at stake. Okay? Here's another little clue or a little rule of tactics. The more risk you put yourself under, the more ready you have to be to go to violence. Or the quicker you are going to be to go to violence. Okay? If you've got 5 guys, you're clearing a house, can you take chances? Yes, you can. A lot more than if you're by yourself. If you're by yourself, you can't take those chances. Okay? So if you're going to take those chances, you have to be ready to go to violence a lot quicker. Okay? A lot quicker. So you're not going to give these guys the benefit of the doubt. If there's any doubt, there is no doubt. Okay? If they have anything in their hands that looks like a weapon, you're going to light them up. You're not going to say a word to them. You're going to take that space, and anything but this, okay? Please don't shoot me, okay? You're going to light them up. This is what the good guy is going to do. Is it a perfect answer? No. But it's the best one that we come up with when we have multiple problems and one good guy. Okay, so the problem is the bad guy can shoot this way and this bad guy can shoot this way, okay? All right, now again, people will say, oh, the bad guys are going to shoot each other when you get it. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is that you don't know where they are. Worst case is they're on opposite corners. All right, best case is you only have one and you really don't know where he is. Okay? So what the good guy is going to do, he's going to do the exact same thing. Okay? He's going to move on that sharp angle. It could be over here, doesn't matter. Right? If he takes the corners to the right, it'll be this way. Okay? If he takes the corners to the left, it'll be this way. All right? The only thing that he's going to do is as he penetrates this spot, he's going to flip a coin. Okay, which way is first? Okay? If I'm moving this way, probably I'm thinking the bad guy is on my left. So in other words, if I'm the good guy and I'm coming into the room this way, if I've picked the left, it's because something there is indicating to me the bad guy is on the left. Okay? I wouldn't purposely turn my back to the bad guy. Okay? Or if I'm taking to the right, it's because for some reason, something has indicated to me the bad guy is on the right. Okay? So as I penetrate here, I'm going to be moving in this direction here. My gun, okay, is going to cover that corner first. Okay? Now, let's look back at your force-on-force experiences. What kind of a time window do you have when you get off the X? You have the time to put 3 to 4 rounds in the bad guy. Okay, if we were to put that on a clock, what kind of time frames are we talking about?
0.3.
Okay, so you have less than a second to make some decisions about this. Okay, how much target evaluation time do you have? Okay, and listen, again, this is not going to sit well with a lot of people in the gun community, especially the guys that are very liability averse. Okay, I would tell them, if you're afraid of liability here, you know what? Don't do this. Go back, hide in your bedroom, call 911, and hope that they don't rape your kids too much.
It's big board rules.
Doesn't sound so good, does it? It's like, oh crap.
It's big board rules.
You know?
If you can't operate
Okay.
under them, don't.
Again, guys that have done force on force, how much time do you have? From here until the guy gets his gun back on you. Because that's how much time you have right here. Okay? All right? So target identification is going to be this. Okay? If you're a member of my family, I'm not going to shoot you. If you've got a police jacket on, I'm not going to shoot you. Anything else? End of story. I can't take the chance. I'm more important than you are. As the bad guy. Okay? You're going to get... Then don't clear. Then don't do this. Okay? Or you know what? If you have a better way to do this T-intersection, sir, please step up and show me. I'm all ears because my spirit is all about finding the best way. If you have a better way, please show me. And what you're going to get is exactly what we got here, silence. Okay? All right, so this is going to happen.
Or thoughts of flashbangs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first thing I think is frags.
If we had them,
Yeah.
if we had them, okay?
So, Gabe, so the line of decision is even greater than in an angular search.
It is because you have two problems. You have two problems, okay? So, you're gonna go here, you're gonna go here, and you're gonna engage this guy.
So
Okay?
you're not doing a quick glance?
I am.
Okay.
I am. As soon as I engage this guy, my focus is gonna turn here. Okay? So what I'm doing, and I'm continuing. Because remember, what keeps you from getting shot in force on force? Movement. So your movement continues, but all you do is if I'm going to the, you know, and again, picture I'm the good guy coming into here, okay? So I've got this, and I'm doing this. Right? And I continue moving. But you notice, as I penetrate into this space, and again, I'm slowing it down here to illustrate, but this is, you could be hauling ass here, guys. Okay? You know, I'm penetrating this space, and I'm pointing into here. Okay, now you notice what I'm doing? Right away, I'm making a decision right now whether you live or die. Okay? And, you know, I mean, it's going to be a nose hair type decision. Means it's going to be made right there on the edge. If you hesitate, you will die. Period. Okay? So I move in here, and I've got all these indexes going on. Okay? Now, let's say Tim is the bad guy here. Okay, can I still shoot Tim? Do I have to be looking at him at these distances in order to shoot him?
As long as you locked in on the focal point, you've started your eye-hand coordination to that focal point, you don't have to be looking
You see
any
how all
longer.
this stuff works together?
Yeah, you know, all this stuff is a great teaser for the next live fire classes,
Okay.
man. Ambidextrous,
All right.
focal points, man.
So, you know what? I start penetrating into this area. Again, I've decided probably on my left here, so I start coming in, and I get a good visual lock on him, and right there I decide shoot him or not. And I may start working the trigger while I got my visual index on him. Boom, 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 boom. And then I go to the next guy. Okay? And you notice it's here, here. Okay? Not like this. Look at the distance I have to travel. Okay? Look at the distance I have to travel.
That's driving the gun to the focal point. You'll always be more accurate straight lines.
Okay? A lot of parallels to the other stuff that we do, isn't it? Okay? We'll get to practice all of this. Okay, but anyway, basically the good guy ends up here, okay? At this point, he's pointing over there. At this point, he's pointing over there. This is the crucial area. Okay? The minute you cross this line, that's when the bad guys have eyes on target. So you really need to be moving. Okay? There's no takeoffs here, because what? This is proactive. You have a chance to, wham! You have a chance to load up and go. Okay? Cool? Doors, and doors lead to? Rooms. Doors and rooms. Okay. Okay, now, this door could be here, it could be here, it could be anywhere. Okay? We'll put it here for now. All right? What's that? Two corners. Small opening in between them. Okay? Let's deal first how to approach it. Okay, here's the good guy. All right? He can see, let me use green for the good guy's vision. That way we'll be tactical and modern. Okay? Except my green doesn't work. All right, let's try orange. Okay. This is what the good guy can see. This is what the good guy cannot see. Okay, everybody see that? Okay. Okay, is that enough to go in the room? No. Okay. Good guy goes here. All right, and he looks a little further into the room. Okay? Good guy goes here, 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 and here. Okay? So basically the bad guy's, the good guy is going like this. Dink, 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 like that. Okay? Although it doesn't have to be right angles or anything like that, but you get the idea. Okay? Good guy can see a little more. Good guy can see a little more. A little more. A little more. And a little more, and I just lost my orange.
You have black there still, right?
Let's see. You know what? Okay, so this is what the good guy can't see, and this is what the good guy can't see. All right? Look familiar? It's like a T-intersection without the hallway. Okay? All right, so how does the good guy get through this portal? Okay, if he stays where he is, this portal, like if I stand here and look at the opening into the kitchen, you know, it's about a thumb width. Okay, if I try and just walk straight in, boom. Okay, big mess. All right, so what the good guy has to do is he has to offset a little from the wall. Okay, and go back to over here. I can step over here like this. Wow, that gets so big. I can walk right through that now. Okay? All right? So now what he's going to do is he's going to do the same thing. It's the same situation that we had with the T-intersection. Okay? And the double bad guy and the whole force-on-force element. We could have bad guy here. We could have bad guy here. Okay? So this guy is going to penetrate into the room at an angle like this. Okay? And what's he going to do? His movement is taking him in there. His eyes and his gun, thank you, are going to deal with those hard corners. Okay? Same exact way. So if I'm penetrating into this room, all right, you know, I've got the training gun, I'm penetrating into the room, it's this, and I continue my diagonal motion into the room. That gets me safe from these two hard corners. Okay? Same exact thing as a T-intersection, except a different entry point and different configuration of where I move into. Okay? Questions on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fatal funnel. You can move
Okay.
across the fatal funnel.
Yeah. When you are clearing here, okay, I'm not right up on here. Okay? That is a foolish mistake. Okay? When I traverse this area here, I do it very, very quickly. Okay? Now there's some other issues too. If, remember, outline, shadow, and so on and so forth, if as I'm traversing this opening, white wall, illuminated, dark room, and so on and so forth, I'm going to want to change the environment a little bit if I can. Either illuminate the room or darken the area from which I'm launching my attack so that I don't outline myself. If I have no alternative, then I'm going to want to move through this area here very quickly, okay? Not carelessly, but quickly, so that I'm not basically standing right there in the door. But the whole fatal funnel thing basically involves traversing the door. What the guys that I was telling you about, you know, they were basically lingering there because of a reluctance to enter the danger area, okay? If you have an understanding of the danger area, it's not a danger, it's a danger area for them, okay? Not for you, okay? But anywhere here, you don't want to linger in the doorway. That's a very bad thing to do. You want to get through there as fast as possible. Okay, under control, but fast. Okay? Why is that? Well, human nature. Okay? You know, someone knocks on your door. Where does everybody look? To the wall? No, they look to the door. Okay? You know, where is the sound going to come from? You know, we've done experiments before where you have your back turned and I say, hey, Alex, and you turn to wherever the sound came from. It's the same thing. The gun will point to where the sound is coming from, where the motion is coming from. It's coming through the door. Okay, so if you hang out in the door, there's a good chance you're going to get shot. Okay? Questions on that? Okay, now.
Are there times where your situations where you have to start on one side of the doorway? You clear all the way around, but tactically, as you're clearing the room, as you're looking in there, you realize I do not want to enter from this side. Times where you would go back across the fatal funnel.
Unless there's circumstances mitigating this, you're in control. Okay? You're in control. All right. Now something else. A lot of times, trainers will tell you that you never shoot from a hallway into a room or from a room into a hallway. Yes, you do. Okay? You know, the only time that changes is if you're working in a team format. Okay? But from your perspective, this is what the room looks like. Okay? But when you start searching, that's what the room actually looks like on the inside. Okay, is that gonna change how you make your entry?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't, you know, you wouldn't move it. Right? Okay, what if, you know, as you start searching, you realize there's a big piece of furniture here. Okay, that would change a little bit. Instead of going on a diagonal, what would you do? Your entry would be like this. Right? So, you know, all you know is I need to get in there. How you get in there is determined by how much information you get. How much information you get is dependent on what you do when you're outside the door.
It's like this room essentially, you come in here, you have that
Yeah.
commode.
Yeah. Okay? All right, now, possibilities of getting through the door. Okay? Let me just draw a few doors here. Rooms are hard, but you know what? It's what you find in houses. Okay. Single operator. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Which should be the preferred?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Why would you do 3 and 4? Okay, you know what? You're giving up some speed when you do this. If you do it like they train you in SWAT school, I'm going to show you a way to do a button hook. Think of it like a double takeoff. Okay? Let's say, in fact, let me make it bigger so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, big door. Okay, right here like this. All right, let's say that you're here. Okay? And you see that that's a big wall. Okay? And you know, you've got some obstructions here, some furniture, trash, whatever, and I'll make it even worse. Mirror,
Good for you for recon.
okay? You can see as much as you can, but all you know is there's a big obstruction here that I can't check beyond. Okay? You want to start going like this? Because now they're going to be able to look in the mirror there and go, oh, look, you know.
There
Right?
it goes.
So you're giving him information now.
Double-edged sword.
Yeah, it is. Okay? You can get that information, but it costs you. Okay, so in this case, you might want to start from here and go, you know what? This is going to be crappy, but the only way I can get through here is to do this. Now, instead of this big curve, okay? Remember when we started doing force on force and sometimes guys would turn into elliptical movement? What have we done with elliptical movement? Gotten rid of it because it's too slow. Right? Easy to track. Okay? What we got into more was what? Angular movement. Okay? All right? So let me ask you guys this, because you know the answer. I need to get here, and I'm here. How do I do it?
2 angles.
Okay? 1, 2. Okay? Think of side-kicking the wall here, or the juncture between the doorpost and the floor. All right? Now, you're not going to do this if you're wearing Crocs. Okay, but if you're wearing proper men's footwear. Okay?
Typical football cutback. It's a movement-based McKinney takeoff is what
Yeah.
it is. Movement. It's just a cutback.
Okay?
But the thing is, since you've got a door frame there to plant your foot against, you don't even have to worry about traction.
Yeah.
Door's
Okay.
not going anywhere.
All right? You know, you're actually pushing off the door frame. Right? You're getting through this area very quickly. You're getting to the area that you want to a lot faster than if you're using that elliptical button hook thing. Okay, so there is a time and a place. Now, when with the other one, just flip this around. Give you the difference. You know, anytime that you can't move on the other side of the door, but you need to get in that direction, this is a tactic that you can use, or a technique, or whatever, you know. With rooms, okay? You have to triage the room. Okay, again, here's the room. I already showed you how to get through the door, okay? You know, doors, again, you know, if the door is open, the door is closed, you have to negotiate the door, okay? When we get out here and start practicing this, I'll show you how to negotiate the door. It doesn't do me any good to show you on the screen here, okay? So, but we'll address that. So, you know, 1, okay? Approach. 2, negotiate the door. 3, entry. Now somewhere between the door and the entry, you do your angular search. Okay? All right, and then number 4, you triage the room. All right? Door triage. Number 1, hard corners. Okay? These are these guys right here. Okay? Number 2, behind the door. If the door opens in. Right? If the door opens in. All right, number 3, behind and under furniture. Okay? You got a couch. This creates what? 2 corners right here. Okay? You know, you have a refrigerator, creates another spot there. Okay? So all of this creates corner effects where bad guys could hide. Finally, the last thing, inside and under. Okay? You know, and by under, I mean, you know, like number 3, under things that can be easily moved, such as a table, or things that where the bad guy could launch his attack on you. Bad guys are going to hide for one of 2 reasons, either to ambush you or to hopefully go undetected. Okay? It's the guys that are trying to launch an ambush on you that are the most dangerous. The guys that are trying to go undetected, you know what, you'll deal with them, but there's not as much urgency to deal with a guy hiding in a cabinet as a guy hiding under a bed. Okay? So you follow that process. Again, with the room, approach the room, deal with the door, negotiate the entry, which part of is angular search from the outside to see what you have. Finally, once you're inside, triage the room. First hard corners, next thing behind doors, behind and under furnitures from which an assault could easily be launched. Finally, inside and under furniture, you know, like inside a closet, inside a cabinet, inside a refrigerator, under a bed, you know, things like that. Okay? The last thing, that's the last thing that you do because probably that's the, you know, the final place where a bad guy could be hiding. Okay? Again, not so much concern. It is a concern, but not as much of a concern as somebody behind the door. Okay? All right? Then you're done with the room. You're going to leave the room, go to the next room. What I would suggest you do is that you close and secure the door in some way if possible. Okay?
And the triage of the room, that's actually that over there, right? Is that what you mean by the triage
Yeah,
of the room?
this stuff here.
That's
This
the
stuff
triage.
here. So, you know, you're in the room. Okay, where do you need to look? Hard corners first. Behind the door, number 2. Behind furniture, number 3. Under stuff, number 4. Or under or inside.
When you're talking about shutting and securing the door, if you got a product recommended for that, those wedges or something?
You know, I would just use the environment. You know, because again, like, you know, if you're gonna go do entries and stuff like that, you get your war bag and you got wedges and, you know, duct tape and peanut shells and all kinds of stuff you can use. But, you know, as you are going,
Right.
you know, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go, okay, okay, I'm gonna close this door and I'm gonna put a Coke can under it. So if somebody opens the door, I heard that. Okay, you just kind of booby trap it that way, or put a chair in front, something where you're not going to prevent the door from being opened. Okay, and if you have the key, go ahead and lock it. Okay, that's easy. But you know, if say, hey, you know what? You got a sling on your rifle, and you know what? This is really bad. I got to take the sling. Okay, this goes around one door. This goes around another door. They both open in. They're not going to be able to because you're securing both doorknobs with your sling. You figure the sling can be used for something like that a lot better than, you know, for what it was intended for at that moment. Nothing wrong with doing that. Use your imagination and use things in your environment. Okay? You know, I remember one guy that he was always eating pistachios. You know, and so in his dump pouch, he would dump all the pistachio seeds. And one time, you know, we're just, you know what? Hey, Alex, come here. Give me your dump pouch. And we just did the Hansel and Gretel thing. I mean, this is back in ghetto SWAT. You know, you didn't resources. I mean, come on. You know, we were sometimes still using the old Kel lights duct taped to the fore end of the MP5. I mean, that was looked like a bunch of lettuce pickers sometimes. But You know, today there's all kinds, I mean, I'm sure somebody will sell you now black tactical pistachio shells or something, so, you know. But you make do with what's available in the environment, okay? Anything else, guys? Okay, and then what do? You go on to the next one, okay? All right, so basically those three components, corners, T-intersection, doors, and then the rooms that the doors lead into. I mean, this is basically, you know, SWAT School 101 for one guy, okay? Now, those of you guys that have done CQB before in either law enforcement or military context, any different stuff that you can contribute to this?
My last first sergeant spent 9 years in CAG. Okay, he was an assaulter, he was a sniper, he was a singleton operator. Bad mofo. It's exactly how he taught us to do rooms.
Okay, cool, there you go. Can't ask for any more validation than that.